I'm going to share with you 7 Bible verses that you probably have never even heard of before, especially in the context of finances, which completely shifted my beliefs and the way I look at money, wealth, and finances. I believe with all my heart that if you watch this video until the end, the value that you'll gain from it has the potential to change your financial life forever. The first one, it's a story from the Bible, and I'm gonna read it, so stick with me, and then we're gonna dissect it. For it will be like a man going on a journey, who called his servants and entrusted to them his property. To one, he gave 5 talents, to another, 2, to another one, 1, to each according to his ability. He gave talents, which were money during the time that this was written, according to their ability. I want to highlight that. Then he went away. He who had received the 5 talents went at once and traded with them, and he made 5 talents more. So also he who had the 2 talents made 2 talents more. But he who had received the 1 talent went and dug in the ground and hid his master's money. I want you to notice here fear. The last one that got 1 talent dug up a hole, put it in the hole out of fear. After a long time, the master of those servants came and settled accounts with them. And he who had received the 5 talents came forward, bringing 5 talents more, saying, Master, you delivered to me 5 talents. Here I have made 5 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little. I'll set you over much. Meaning, what I give you, you are faithful to me with that little, I'll give you more. Enter into the joy of your master. And he also, who had 2 talents, came forward saying, Master, you delivered to me 2 talents. Here I have made 2 talents more. His master said to him, Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful over little, I'll set you over much. Enter into the joy of your master. He also, who had received the 1 talent, came forward saying, Master, I knew you had to be a hard man, reaping where you did not sow, and gathering where you scattered no seed. So I was afraid, and I went and hid your talent in the ground. Here you have what is yours. But this master answered him, You wicked and slothful servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gathered where I scattered no seed. Then you ought to have invested my money with the bankers, and at my coming I should have received what was my own with interest. So take the talent from him and give it to him who has the 10 talents. For to everyone who has will more be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who has not, even what he has will be taken away. And cast the worthless servant into outer darkness. In that place there will be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Ooh, what a punch. When I heard the parable of talents, I had a spiritual awakening, realizing that I have been all my life told that money is bad, or I have heard that money is bad, the rich people are bad, the rich people are evil. And this parable completely shifted the way I think. First of all, talents means money, but also it means your talents as your gift given from God. 2 meanings here in one passage. When the master gave the money to the first servant, that servant went and doubled what he had. And remember, he was giving according to his abilities. It made me wake up and understand that the amount of money that I have today is given to me according to my abilities. Conclusion, I have to up my abilities to get more money. At the same time, I have realized that do I really go and double the money that I have been giving? Or do I act like the last servant who buries the money and holds it so tight, paralyzed by fear, that that money will go away or escape, or I'm not going to have enough? And guess what? I was holding on too tight. And because I was operating out of not faith, but lack, I would not be blessed with more. Because remember what the master did. He said, take it away from this wicked and slothful servant and give it to the one that did double according to his ability. Being faithful to God means you take the blessing in forms of your internal talents and the money, and you have to multiply it. You have to serve God and bring more if you want to be blessed with more. The next verse that has changed my life in terms of finances is, for the love of money is the root of all evil. And if you look at Proverbs 23:7, it says that heart belongs to God. As he thinks in his heart, so he is. It's not about people having a lot of money that makes them bad. It's who they serve in their heart. If they have a God-serving heart and then they have millions and millions of dollars, then they will serve God more with what they have. And again, go back to parable of talents, they will be giving more. But if they serve money, then their life and the action that they're taking in their life will be evil because they don't serve God. So checking in with my heart to see, where do I stand with money? Do I serve God? Do I trust God? Do I have faith in God? Or do I serve money? And by the way, I also realized that serving money doesn't necessarily mean loving either. Serving money also means taking and holding it and clenching onto it so bad because you are afraid of losing it, because there's wounds and insecurity and traumas from the past that is reflecting in the money in your mind, and that's why you're clinging so much to it. I had to work through those to realize that my past life experiences have led me to have a lack mindset in terms of money. Therefore, I was serving money, but I was not serving money from love. It was money from scarcity, from scared, from fear. The next verse is, remember the Lord, for it is He who has given you the power to create wealth. He has given you the talents. He has given you the abilities. He has given you the opportunities, the place that you have gone, the people that you have met. All of it has been orchestrated by God. Of course, you have to take the action to go and seize those opportunities. But it's God who opened those opportunities in the first place. It's God who is giving us the ability to see those opportunities. There's many people that get in their own way by not putting their faith and trust in God and not really allowing God to open their eyes and ears and life for the opportunities. The opportunity can be right in front of them and guilty, and they don't see it. I didn't see it. I was too scared. I was too afraid. I was too scared of the best version and the most powerful version of me if I would to become wealthy, if I would to become successful. Because remember from my childhood, I thought that if you become wealthy and successful, that means that you're bad, that means that you're evil. Even though the opportunities were in front of me, open to me, coming to me, God was putting there, even my talents that I have received from God, I will shut it down because I couldn't see with God's eyes. I couldn't see with God's faith. I couldn't see with God's hope. Giving God His rightful place in my heart and in my mind, that He's the one who has given me the ability to create wealth itself, gives me the power and the confidence that He has me covered and speaks to me to see those opportunities, to seize those opportunities. The next verse that has impacted my life is, a good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. If we are not to get wealthy, if we're not to have success and money, then what are we leaving to our children? One might argue that wealth doesn't necessarily mean just money. Wealth also means education, spiritual beliefs, and other things more worthy than the money itself. And I absolutely agree. Indeed, leaving an inheritance in terms of our children believing in God and following God's path is way beyond any material possessions. Leaving an inheritance of knowledge and self-control and emotional intelligence to our children, it's way beyond material. However, how can we leave an inheritance of a peaceful mind, of a peaceful life, of good knowledge, of good spiritual rootness, if we are in a survival mode ourselves? We can't sleep at night, we can't go through the day, we are worried, we are scared about finances, we are trying to figure out how do we keep the house that we have, how we put healthy food on our children's table. So can you really say that you are operating at the best version of yourself to leave your children an inheritance that is healthy? And I mean spiritual, knowledge, and money inheritance that is healthy and it's at peace when you're struggling yourself? I asked all this myself, and I knew that I cannot leave a better tomorrow for my children today if I don't take care of my financial well-being, so that I can have now the brain and spiritual capacity to give them the best and not the crumbs. John is one of my favorite books. It says that God wants you to live an abundant life. And I go back to our children. If you're a parent, and if you're not a parent, if you have a loved one, and you look at them, do you wish that they struggle? Do you wish that they have money problems? Do you enjoy that? I guarantee the answer is no. That's why we put our children in good schools. That's why we put them in activities. That's why we take our loved ones for dinner or give them nice presents. We want our loved ones to be happy. We want our loved ones to enjoy life. We don't want them to struggle. We don't want them to live this life where it's hard and it's miserable for them.